hello, and thank you for clicking on my YouTube channel. My name is Hussein. Today, my dear viewer, is a continuation of my ongoing recovery journal. And I wanted to visit and bring you, in fact, to this wonderful location. On the one hand, you have the scenic beauty of Torontopia. City in a park, eh? Like, amazing city. This is October the 3rd. It's still t-shirt weather. And I've come to this bridge every week for the last 3 weeks, trying to find a time when it's unoccupied. Like, every time I come here, I just don't want someone running out with a lead pipe, right? One of the denizens that lives here. You can see the usual detrius. I actually spent on and off like weeks and months sleeping and hanging out under this bridge, right? This whole red hot chili peppers thing, right? Under the bridge. I really take that to be a homeless motif. I'm certain it is. Homeless motif or drug addict motif, right? When you're high on drugs or when you're using, you need a place where you can just have complete privacy. Or when you're out of your gourd, as in my case. So my story is that I suffer from cannabis use disorder. And basically, I just got out of jail 6 weeks ago, mid-July, and I was there for 18 months, and I finally found a really good place without the medication, and I was finally, after years, depression-free. Oh God, there is someone there. Sorry bro, I'm not gonna, oh shit, there's people there. I'm not gonna film you guys, eh? I used to sleep under this bridge. Sorry man. So yeah, like I'm just gonna like be very brief here. There are actually people there. This is the thing. Like sometimes someone is like sitting there so quiet and stuff that, you know, you like you just can't see them. Like it's the conditioned thing. Like when you see something that's really still. So yeah, like the detrius of society, like us homeless people and addicts, right? So cannabis use disorder. I'm just taking you around the side there to give these guys some privacy, and then I'm just going to be out of here, dear user. I usually ramble on for like half an hour. I don't know if I'm going to do that right now, right? These guys were very cool. They didn't say anything, right? I don't know like what to tell you, but as you can imagine, you come under a bridge and like there's people doing homeless stuff. It's like this line from Pulp Fiction where he's like, my wife's just about to come home, and I don't want her to stumble upon some gangsters doing some gangster stuff, right? So with the homeless thing, you have no idea like what kind of scene you might arrive upon. I've been chased, frankly, out of this bridge by someone with a lead pipe at least once. There was a guy that used to come around here compulsively and set fires. Like for a period, he was coming here like every week, every day. He would gather log branches and stuff. Then he'd pull down like City of Toronto street signs and like cones and different things, and he'd set a fire, right? And the fire was so bad, like, and he did this on occasion. And again, like, this was my destiny to go to jail. I went to jail for arson, and I'm just thinking to myself that this guy was setting fires down here, and the fire department would attend these fires on an ongoing basis. And as far as I can tell, they never charged the guy. Like more refuse and stuff like this, right? So now, this is my recovery journal. Like basically, I'm a big believer in a trip down memory lane, like they say. There's more like homeless activity down there. In fact, what I'm going to try and do, I don't think I can do it on this camera. I used to have a Samsung S20, and yeah, you can flip the camera while you're recording, and I'm very disappointed that this A32 does not have that functionality. There's some, like just right down there, there's some more like homeless stuff, and so I just wanted to capture that very quickly. This is Mount Pleasant Trail, I believe, down here. So yeah, in any case, memories and memories. This guy like setting fires, people doing all kinds of stuff down here, like sleeping and eating and doing drugs, and of course going around the site to defecate and urinate and things of this nature. For me, this is like a trip down memory lane, right? And I go back and I look at these videos, and I've been taking pictures, and for me, marijuana was basically my drug of choice. Through the grace of God, I was never addicted to hard drugs. Although I gotta say, like being manic, I've basically tried everything I could get my hands on. When you're going through like a bipolar, manic, or psychotic episode, like the weed basically triggers this thing in me, and I'm diagnosed bipolar, but it's more or less psychosis. When I keep smoking weed, like I just become delusional, right? And the definition of psychosis in my mind is that you basically start thinking things that are not the case, like people are coming after you, or what if they're like watching you with cameras, and like I used to think similar kinds of thoughts. And then you think that it's like the movie The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. You think like you're the center of the universe and things of this nature. By the way, this bridge is at Bloor and Danforth. No, Sherbourne and Bloor, Sherbourne and Bloor, Midtown Toronto. And my wife used to live nearby in St. Jamestown. It's just basically an intersection full of memories. And right now, like I'm literally like every day for me is just like heaven. Every day I get up, I thank God. And I've been attending Narcotics Anonymous meetings. I've been attending Alcoholics. I attend two meetings basically: an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. This is my first day one key tag. When I just got out of jail and I started attending these meetings a few weeks after getting out of jail. This is like a key tag at Narcotics Anonymous, that you've been drug-free for 1 day. This is my 30-day key tag. I'm very proud of these key tags. Clean and serene for 30 days. And every day, like I learned so much in these meetings, and I'm going to tell you, like if you're interested in getting off of drugs, like you may have been exposed to the Narcotics Anonymous or the Narcotics Anonymous or the Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step program. You may have been exposed to this stuff, and then you may have this idea that, you know, these 12 steps, it's not for me. It's too much, right? I hope you can hear over this goddamn noise, right? Anyway, this is too much, it's too complicated, it's too involved, these kinds of things. All I'm gonna say is go to these meetings and you're gonna benefit so much through association. And if your sticking point is this concept of higher power, a lot of people, many people, a good significant chunk of people that attend Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous meetings, I'm practically shouting here, like, just like in my last video, I went for a bike ride to Woodbine Beach, and then suddenly in the background, some goddamn, like, racket, like they're doing construction or some pumping or whatever is going on over there, a racket, and I can't go back up there. I'll go back up there and I'll get out onto the road. It can't be any louder than this. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, it can't be any louder than this. And then I'll leave these guys in peace, because you know what, like, you're doing your thing under the bridge. I've been here plenty of times. For me, again, like, you don't want some guy walking around like with a camera, things like this, right? So I've been laying out here plenty of times myself. Like, for me, weed was my drug of choice, and it had the exact same effect as basically hard drug addiction. I spent 15 years of my life on and off the street, in and out of shelters, in and out of jail. I was admitted to the psych ward a number of times, and yeah, so we're coming up to society, and what a difference. You can see like the condominium buildings and these kinds of things. So yeah, I'm wary of the I'm wary of the noise factor, right? And as usual, the camera, like on this phone, best phone I've ever had, worst camera, right? So now anything after like 100 feet is like glare and whatnot. So yeah, weed had the same effect on me, dear user and dear children of the concubus, that hard drugs have on people. Out of my gourd, do anything to get my hands on weed. I didn't steal and rob people, this kind of stuff. And weed's not that hard to find. In fact, I spent months, and in fact years, on and off the street, and I would basically go roach hunting. I would have a pair of tweezers ideally and go around town to like specific locations. Here in Toronto, there's Yonge and Dundas Square, there's Kensington Park, there's Union Station, the main train station. And because cannabis is now legal, like there's a cannabis shop right across the way, like this sign over here. I used to go there, day and night cannabis. And I remember my poor beautiful wife, mi esposa bonita colombiana. Yo soy pakistano, pero mi esposa es una colombiana hermosa. She was so devoted to me, and she was so intent on getting me off the weed and straightening me out and straightening my life out. Like, I tell guys now that the girl of your dreams, the one for you, it's not about looks or social status or how fancy or rich she is or things like this. I tell people that the girl, the one for you, is the one that put up with all your crap. Like for so many years, she puts up with your lies, your attitude, your unprofessionalism. You show up sloppy, you throw up, and like you're just like depravity. And she was always a guiding light in your life. And basically, it's enough for the guidance of a man that he follows the cue of a good woman. This is what I have to say. It, just like the Bible says as well, that a good wife is worth her weight in gold and things like this. And she does amazing things. And wherever she goes, she's adding beauty and dignity. Like, I don't want to digress too much. I have a habit of doing this, but in Islam, Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said that a woman is a flower, this kind of thing. And women are considered zina, which means they're an adornment. They're beautiful, they like beauty, they create beauty, right? And basically all the amazing and beautiful things in life, right? Like are a lot of the times influenced by the so-called woman's touch. You have a bunch of guys living together in a bachelor pad, and there's socks and dirty laundry everywhere, and it's like, it's total crap, and like the paint is peeling, and it's all crap, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? The curtains are all dusty, the windows haven't been opened, or they've just been open all season or whatever, right? And you have a woman that comes through this place, and my wife is like a magician this way. Like 20 minutes and then she's gonna have an amazing 3-course meal ready, or 20 minutes and she'll like turn like a dump of an apartment into something really beautiful and astounding. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit. The whole purpose of these recovery talks is for myself to just reinforce this whole thing, which I found in jail. And of course we got a truck here right in back with the noise level, so I'm always worried about the noise level, my dear viewer. There it goes. See you later, man. So yeah, this recovery journal, I'm hoping that I attract like some kind of following or viewers. I ramble a lot. I had on my Zaidi Boy channel in the links below, I had like 68 followers or subscribers at one point. And towards the end of this thing, unfortunately, most of those videos in the links below in my old YouTube channels, and those are just some of them. I've got several more. I've done over 1,000 at least videos. Over 1,000 videos I've uploaded to YouTube. and I'm still struggling just to like maintain a coherent thread of narration and not ramble so much. So yeah, the point of these recovery videos is I'm hoping someone will watch this and just understand that my message is that real life is enough, right? A good, clean, productive life, right? You have to fill your time with meaningful activities, a working situation, job or career or something like this, right? And if you don't have those things, then you're working towards those things, right? I get up nowadays at 6 in the morning and I'm basically like busy all day. I meditate and pray for an hour in the morning, and I'm doing my push-ups, right? And then breakfast, and then like I'm out and about basically all day. At lunch, after lunch at 1 o'clock, I go to the mosque for an hour, and then I go for an hour bike ride, okay? And then in the middle of all this, I'm reaching out to clients as a digital marketer and sales consultant, and then like working on stuff that I want to publish out on Amazon.com. I'm happy to report to you that I've done more in these last 2 months after being released from jail than I have in several years. I just got out of the dentist, and I was there last week as well. I haven't had my teeth checked properly for years. I hadn't done my taxes for years. I hadn't been to the doctor for proper checkups for years. So I'm getting blood tests and all these kinds of things done. And my message to you is that just life, normal life is just fine and dandy, right? And the secret to this whole thing is one of my videos, I've got it in the description, which is how to change your life with one decision. This book changed my life, and I'm not going to tire of preaching this thing, which is that you need to, according to Coach Mike Bayer, he wrote a couple of best-selling, New York Times best-selling books, Your Best Self and then One Decision. And all of these books, all of it, and more or less the secret to life, or the meaning of life, if you will, like, is only one thing and one thing only. Channel your best self. Be your best self. You have to, all your negative emotions and thoughts and experiences and your suffering, all of it is because we are identified with a negative or false or bad self. You get up in the morning, you've got your day-to-day thoughts, they generate day-to-day emotions. Most of it is cyclical, most of it is negative. If you let this thing run its course, then you're gonna end up depressed or whatever. Like, you might even just commit suicide eventually. This thing just goes on and on, like the negative ego-based compulsions and thoughts and emotions and moods, and it's all negative, right? Like, most people and myself for like the last 50 years until like this recent episode in jail, 18 months, I transformed my life. I used to be depressed for like 10 years. I was depressed. I was suicidal, frankly, and I had like super high anxiety where your skin is tingling. Depression, like that you feel like you're basically in one of these underwater submarine suits or whatever, these heavy suits that allow you to walk on the bottom of the ocean floor. Like, you feel like you wake up and you're basically enclosed in one of these things and you can't even move. And the thought of just brushing your teeth or going to do groceries or going outside or talking to someone, it's just an insurmountable challenge. On the other hand, when you start channeling your best self, you have to understand this thing. I've been talking about this for weeks now, if not months. And I understand now it's hard for people to understand this thing because, again, you're living within the cloak of your false self, right? And walahum absarun la yabsaruna biha, walahum adhanun la yasma'una biha, says the Quran. They have eyes but they don't see. They have ears but they don't hear, right? So you don't see the world around you. You don't smell the smells or see the sights. You don't realize how amazing life is, frankly. And so when I try and explain this thing, be your best self, the problem is that your lower self tries to pretend to be good, and you think it's good, and it basically props itself up the whole time. And the thing that is most painful is when this lower self begins to be undermined. And I suppose for some it's a gradual process. For some it can be a instantaneous kind of realization or epiphany. For me it took 18 months, and when I went to jail in 2023 December, I set fire. I was charged with arson. I was bipolar, manic, smoking weed. I had my own place, but I was still sleeping in my wife's stairwell and like whatever, just roaming around, just acting like an idiot. If you look at some of these videos in the channels below, most of that stuff was done when I was manic, like out of my gourd. Now, I got charged with arson. I went to jail. I was totally manic. My mania lasts for weeks and days and weeks. It's not like normal bipolar people. They have a manic episode. It might be a day or a few days. My stuff just goes on for weeks. If I'm smoking even moderate amounts of weed on a daily basis, like I would be living on the street, and I didn't even have any money in those days, and I'd be fishing for roaches, like weed roaches, that they're everywhere around town. If I looked around this bus stop, I might find some roaches. If I looked around outside of like stores or offices where people smoke, I might find roaches, and then you can just roll them up in rolling paper with cigarette, tobacco, or whatever. And that was enough to keep me manic indefinitely. So when I went to jail, I was out of my gourd. Like, they put me in administrative segregation. I was actually there for 6 months. So I was in my cell for like 22 hours a day. If I was lucky, I would get out for a couple of hours into a small room with a TV and this kind of stuff. It was just like, it was pretty intense. And I'm grateful to God that I managed it, and I was actually in a good place. When you're manic, everything is good anyway, right? I mean, you have intense outbursts of aggression or hostility, and then the rest of the time you're super confident and you're super like creative and all these kinds of things. If there are any bipolar people out there, let me just warn you that bipolar mania is like a drug. Like, sometimes a person who's bipolar thinks, oh, I can be slightly manic and I can benefit from the creativity and the confidence and the productivity and get stuff done. This is total shit. Your natural state kills everything. Natural, plugged into life, productive, high on life, as that word. It sounds like cliched and stupid, but again, you need to learn how to become self-aware and look at yourself and be honest with yourself. It's one of these 12 steps, right? And I urge you again, go to these meetings. Like, why would you not go to a meeting? Like, if there was like, it's exactly the same like with people that want to be successful in life. They will, like myself, I'll attend any kind of business workshop or program or any kind of workshop where there's any like hint or possibility of learning something by way of self-improvement, or hanging out with successful people or accomplished people. When you go to NA meetings, you'll meet people that were like debaucherous addicts and living on the street and chasing each other with 2x4s and in and out of jail and in psych wards and breaking out of psych wards and hurting people and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. People that say I didn't think I would have made it. I thought I was doomed. And today, like, they're the happiest people, and they're full of life, and they're full of energy, and they're laughing, and they're just exuding love and confidence. And through the grace of God, I'm happy to report that people say this thing to me now. When I was in jail, people would say that I exude love or something like this, and people would be talking to me all day, coming in and out of my cell. I was trading out of my cell coffee and sugar and fruit and food and whatever. Like, I would trade and just have a slight markup, and I just amassed a whole treasure trove of goodies that I gave away when I left. These kinds of things. It was amazing. Like, my jail experience, I want to write a book about it and talk about it some more, God willing. For now on this channel, my main topics are proofs of the existence of God, or just explaining Islam and religious perspectives, right? As well as this recovery thing. And the main thing for an addict is you need to understand that it's just total shit. It's not worth it. Like this addiction, it paints a picture in your mind when you want to go out and use drugs or get drunk. You get this picture of peace and you're just laid out and having fun and happy. I was laid out under this bridge for weeks, literally at a time, just in my own world, like La La Land. And I spent nights here, and I had like, well, I didn't have fights here through the grace of God, but anyway, I've seen all kinds of things and experienced all kinds of things and have met all kinds of people under this bridge. And you're just living in this delusional state, right? It's just total shit, frankly. Like nothing in terms of bipolar mania or getting high can compare with the beauty of everyday life and the satisfaction of getting up, exercising, eating healthy. Like here's the key message today. O children of the concubus, for addicts and people suffering from addiction and on the path of recovery. Basically, you have to change every aspect of your life. That's it. And the way to do that is to accept your higher power or tune into your best self. وَمَنْ عَرَفَ نَفْسَهُ فَقَدْ عَرَفَ رَبَّهُ. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said that whoever knows or recognizes himself recognizes his Lord, right? So whether you work from the inside out or the outside in, it's all the same. The result is that it's a total transformation of yourself and your life, right? And I was saying yesterday on one of my God videos that basically there's a couple of reasons to believe in God. So one reason is that just try it out. That's reason number one. Just try it out. Go inside yourself, close your eyes, meditate, reach out within, right? Like as all meditators, as that word, like everyone who meditates knows that this feeling of you tap into something that's so peaceful and so beautiful and so transcendental, right? That thing is God, of course. They call it the one source or the greater intelligence or the primal source or whatever that is, right? So try it out. And what you'll find is if you actually connect with God, like the real reason is it just transforms your life. You become the best version of yourself, which is improving day to day. And then you start, like my beautiful wife says, you start seeing miracles. You start seeing miracles. It starts with serendipities and coincidences. You're thinking about something and you see it in a book. Or you're reading about something and then someone starts talking about it the next day. These kinds of strange things happen all the time, right? And then you see like things that are incontrovertible, like unbelievable things. Like atheists sometimes say, well, listen, why doesn't God just show himself or perform miracles or things like this? You can see all those things, but you have to earn them, my friend. Second reason that you need to be at least open to the idea of God and trying to find him is to thank him. An Islamic scholar pointed this out. I think it's a very cogent thought. You suffer and you think life is shit, and then you say life is shit and the world is shit and people are shit. A great song by Slipknot, I know, right? But life is beautiful and the world is the world, but life is beautiful and the universe is amazing and mesmerizing. Just to have this feeling of the awe and the sacredness of being alive and the sacredness of everything, this is what you're aiming for, right? So I urge you to attend these meetings, NA meetings. I urge you to attend AA meetings. If nothing else, you need to read. I was saying a large chunk of people that attend NA and AA did not believe in God, but they found him through these meetings. What I found through these meetings is a reaffirmation of my higher self and people that are embodying their higher selves, and they're amazing people exuding love and confidence. That's my primary and only goal in life. Read the big book, the AA or NA big book, and read the opening pages and chapters where it talks about God, and be open to change and possibilities. So thank you for watching. Comments appreciated, and have a good day, right?